So, Lee, what do you think? I'm sure the tax cut part is popular with everybody, especially Republican voters. But what about the cuts to Medicaid, potential cuts to Medicaid and the work requirements and such? Because we hear some Republicans, including Josh Hawley from Missouri, expressing concern about that.
Well, I think there's a lot of concerns about those cuts. But when you look overall, Republicans, 75% of them support the big, beautiful bill, while 80% of Democrats oppose it. The big issue that they have is that independents don't support it. Only 30% of independents support the bill. And I think that's in large part because they're really concerned about these cuts. But it's going to be more than just the Democrats coming out and pointing out what's wrong with the bill. They're going to have to come out and talk about what's right, because they have a big issue as well. And that as much as we're not supporting the big, beautiful bill, people are looking at the Democrats and they're saying that they don't have a solution that's any better.
It's somewhere between $3.3 and $4 trillion, and that's over 10 years, we should note. But all of that is disputed by the White House. They say there's no deficit spending here at all. But, you know, you have Rand Paul and Rick Scott and from Wisconsin. Who's oh God, his name is
Ron Johnson.
Ron Johnson. Sorry. Plus, you have the two that are like leaning on the left on it. Josh Hawley and Susan Collins saying the Medicaid cuts are too much. That's five. That's five right now, and he can't afford to lose more than three.
I mean, the math is over. I think that's why he's talking about negotiating right now. And I think there's a big problem with this bill in that it's really pushed so much as this big, beautiful bill that's supposed to accomplish everything. And this administration is trying to tell us that it's not about the ballooning deficit, that we have no issues because this is going to grow us out of it. And it's going to be in addition to making DOGE cuts permanent. And I don't think that everybody's buying it. But I do think that when you look at this, at the end of the day, if Democrats just oppose it, Republicans stand behind it, Democrats have a big issue. When you look at, there's a really interesting study that just came out, and the words that are associated with Democrats right now are sloth, slug, and tortoise. Those are the animals associated with Democrats. Right. Republicans are lions, tigers, and sharks. They're going out there and seen as fighters, whereas the others are looking as obstructionists. And if we just have Democrats obstruct and not come up with alternatives, and I understand that they're the minority party and it's really hard, they have to come up with something that's better.
His argument is, look, I make a tough offer, and then they counter, and then like I back off, and that's just negotiation. I'm not chickening out, but it certainly got under his skin.
It definitely got under his skin. And look, I mean, he will always come back to the fact that he's making deals, he's negotiating, and this is what he's going to stick to. And good for him for always coming back to his central message. But I do think that this attack is really smart. So leave it to Wall Street to come up with something that is going to stick. I agree with you, because this isn't the big looming threat to democracy. This isn't the thing that gets people so scared and overwhelmed. This is actually something that people can point to and say, actually, is that true? What is he going to do? Is he going to chicken out? It's very similar to when Walz called Vance and other Republicans weird. It's that kind of thing that sticks, that makes a problem solvable, that doesn't make it so overwhelming that you can't deal with it. I think it's a really, really smart attack on him, and I think he at least responded to it in a very, very positive way. I think getting back to his negotiating and his deals and what he always does and what he's known for. But I'm with you, Gretchen. I think it's going to stick.